What concerned me the most, number one, are obviously the numbers, but they're really in three areas of the province that we saw a spike. What concerns me are the percentages of younger people. 57% of all those cases are people under the age of 39 and right up in the 20s. And I just have a message for the young people. Don't go to a party, simple, because it might not be you, but it's going to be your parents or your grandparents, as I always say, or your neighbors or your friends or relatives. You're hurting people by doing this. And go back to the golden rule: wear a mask. You don't have a mask, keep 6 feet or 2 meters. Practice social distancing. Continue to sanitize your hands and that. But I just ask people, just hold off on these parties. I don't know why everyone wants to party so badly, but enough. We have to keep this in control, and we will. We're going to continue focusing. We still have, if you take the 3 outbreak areas out of the equation, we're below 100. So I just wish people just be focused on their day-to-day lives.
Follow up.
Thank you. So, Premier, in your mind, how do you do that? How do you reach, if that is in fact what's driving this, how do you reach those, people in the younger age categories to bring those numbers down? And in your mind, how bad would it have to get in a particular region to go back writ large from stage 3 to stage 2?
Well, Lucas, hopefully we won't get there. You know something, guys? I say guys, the younger people. I travel around North America. My number one selling feature, I wish Vic Fideli, our trade minister, was here. All I do is brag about you guys. We have the brightest, and I believe it, the brightest, smartest people coming out of our colleges and universities anywhere in the world. And we can compete against anyone. And vast majority, 98% of all these young folks are following protocol procedures, and a couple percent are going a little hog wild. Guys, you got to rein it in. Simple as that. Because it's again, you may get through it, but maybe your grandparents won't get through it. So that's the way you got to think about it, and just keep following the protocols as we have the last few months. The province is incredible. The 14.5 million people have all been pulling in their weight. And you know something, I'm going to pass this over to the mayor. She deals with a lot of young people, and I'm sure she has a similar message. Oh, sorry, Matt. Oh, I got it.
Thank you for this opportunity, Premier. And let me say that there was also a misrepresentation of the Peel numbers today. There is not an uptick in cases. We are migrating to a new data collection system that will mimic the provinces, and there was a bit of a backlog. So I'm happy to report, 22 cases, not 57, 4 of which are in Mississauga. I am delighted that we have flattened the curve here in Mississauga. I've reported 2 days with 0 increases, in fact. There are some household transmission cases in certain pockets of our region, and that will prevent us, of course, from moving to phase 3 for another week. We want 4 weeks of declining numbers, and we will have them by next week. So, Premier, I'm very hopeful that you'll move Peel Region and the City of Toronto into phase 3 next week. The message needs to be clear to our young people who think who are maybe bored at home and it's summertime and want an opportunity to go out and party. This is no time for partying. This is very serious. We are in the midst of a pandemic. We need to be vigilant for a little while longer. And if we can certainly avert going into a lockdown once again, as we had to in the springtime, and avert that dreaded second wave that could come in the fall, sending us back to the beginning. So please, let's take this seriously. Think of your parents, your grandparents, anyone with an underlying health condition. Perhaps you have a pregnant mother or aunt, somebody to think of, somebody with a condition that maybe leave them vulnerable to contracting this virus. So please, young people, you need to respect the rules. They're there in place for everyone to follow. We're in this together. We'll get through this together, and we'll do so stronger. So please respect the rules, and we're going to get that messaging out on all our channels of social media to ensure that we're reaching the people who are breaching the rules. And in fact, in Mississauga, we have great compliance, but our bylaw officer's mission is one of education, less so enforcement. We want to inform people and educate them, and we have ambassadors roaming our hotspots to help people, remind people the rules of safe physical distancing and not gathering in groups. Thank you, Premier, for this opportunity.